Hello, YouTube. Welcome back into our Gitarja playthrough, part of one more marathon. Working on some wonders finally. It's quite nice. I think we'll go 4 turns here. Put in the wonder, like finish this settler, put in the wonder policy, move Magnus, try to get Potato Palace, try to get some of these things going. I think I'm gonna faith buy our last settler or gold buy. Because we're going into, well, we have one more monumentality ahead of us, right? Not technically science lead, but thank you, Nessim. We're doing okay. We're certainly doing okay. Do I chop this? I really don't mind chopping this. Get this holy site done. Oh, harbor or campus? I guess because we're running the harbor policy, and then this gives me like housing potential and stuff. It's probably just better. For now on, your official name is Tech. Awesome, Tech. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate the Prime sub as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This does boost this. I need like a sea resource right here. This is where the heroes would be nice with like Maui. Do I want this? This is one. This is the same thing. These are better seaside resorts later. Although this holy site boosting appeal here makes sense because it'll boost the appeal of this seaside resort and then these two as well if I want to turn them into it. So I think that makes sense. And then maybe we chop for it here. Because we have the policy in over there. And then probably switch this. Throw down this. Buy the obelisk. Buy the granary. Sturm, thank you so much for gifting a sub. Welcome on in, Imperator. How you doing, buddy? Harbors are so good on coastal cities. All right. Taj could be useful for us. Remember that repeatable era score is going to kind of fall away as this game goes on because we're not going to have the national park options. 300 gold doesn't suck, but I don't need the luxury ever. Who dat? Vilnius. That could help us with our culture. It's no Nan. It's no Nan, but that's not too bad. Any purchasable stuffs? Nope. Yeah, it's our first culture CS of the day. Now this, doesn't this get better? Oh, it's for 2 adjacent districts. Yeah, the monastery always kind of bums me out. It's never as good as I want it to be. I'm just going to give them a mine. Yeah, this is a bit of a problem. I could buy this shipyard and then build them walls. Buy the shipyard and an archer. I knew that this was eventually going to turn into a problem. What I'd really like is a Jung, but I don't want the era score right now. There goes a lot of our money, but our gold per turn is pretty solid. They want my tobacco. Yes, indeed. I like that. Howdy, Hank. Thank you so much for the repeat sub. I'm going to save this charge for when we have the policy in. Thank you so much for the 2 months. Welcome back with the Prime. I want this real quick for the Coliseum. It's better than this just because it gives us an instant reward. Elvin Masterino and Civs and Dragons. Thank you for the tier 2. Welcome back for 28 months. Really good to have you here. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
When does the dictionary read marathon begin?
Did you see my tweet?
Smiley face. Lol.
Is this a reference to my tweet? Civs and Dragons. Nobody wants my turtles. Look at these tiles we're working, though. Indeed. Okay. I love it. It's true. My tweet was valid. At least I think so. We really do need to get this, so I'm saving faith. 4 turns we grab it, hopefully. A little nervous about this.
There is little man has.
Okay. Nope, don't want to. You guys deal with that. Okay, where are we at in the tech tree? I guess industrialization makes some sense. Just make our mines a little bit better. I do want to unlock this Patala. It's +2 up there. I do need it eventually. I want to buy them stuff, but I really need to be working on other things. I can give you a growth tile. Is that best? Yeah. Yeah, we're probably going to try for Potato Palace. Mr. Whiskey needs a home. I need another unit here. I might just have to get my Jong now. This is too dangerous. It's a lot of era score that I don't want. I guess I could get a Caravel. And it probably holds the city well enough. The Jong is so much better, though. Oh, man. Only 3 turns. What are other options? Just like a knight? It's not good enough. Buy our own Man-at-Arms. Oh, go inside. I'm gonna... Oh, okay. All right, well. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Watch us lose our Mausoleum City. Fortunately, I can't get double attacked here, so we're probably okay. It's so annoying, though. We just faith by the engineer director. Hi, Chimera. How you doing, friend? Welcome in. Happy Tuesday and all that. All right, please don't kill my city. All right, I think we're okay. All right, there is, I think my last built settler. And then the cap can finally start to catch up on things like their shipyard, all of these lovely buildings that we need. Yeah, I think we're okay now. Very much want this. Geneva wouldn't suck either. We do have 2 envoys. I think I'd prefer to put in Diplo League and take a Vilnius Suze. Pretty quick here anyways. Is there an anonymous group for settler addiction? Lol. Hi, Folky. Welcome in, everybody. Good to have you here. Boop. Okay. All right, 2 turns on the era. Oh, come on. Give me this. I want the engineer. I have a lot of Indonesian cities you've never heard of. I mean, cool. Right? I think so. I think that's cool. Uh-oh. Oh, I was supposed to delay that theater square. Derp? Oh, well. That was a derp. That was 1 turn off. I remember saying that yesterday, but I forgot. And that happens sometimes. Hopefully it won't be a problem later on. If we miss our next golden age by 3, I'm going to be sad. Seems fine. All right. I do want to drop this. Might drop that too. Certainly we want Gothic architecture. Don't think I need this. Any Jong activity? I am about to buy a Jong. Content Cities is pretty good. You missed this game. Well, where'd it go? You can get it back. You know, if you love it, let it go. And if it returns to you, then it was meant to be. It applies to Civ, too. Oh, I didn't put in Diplo League. Derp. Ooh, that sounds fun, dwarves. Love that idea. Oh, maybe rip. Why do I have so much science without that many campuses? I have quite a few campuses. Yeah, that was a suicide mission there for the war cart. Whoops. How do I have this much science without that many campuses? First of all, I have some really good campuses. Our campuses on this map have been pretty good. We're also getting 20% of our faith output as science, which is a huge part of it. But like, well, that's not done yet. I have that campus. I have that campus. Okay, your assessment is actually correct. This is four science here, which I think is fine. But 20% of this, so 40 of it's coming from that. Not to mention a big part of is we've got some city states. So we've got 3 in on both of those. And just various eras. So do we stick with monumentality here? Coinage starts to look really, really good. We've been focusing on harbors. And I just monumentality is always really good, and we do have a lot of land to clean up in terms of seaside resorts and late game stuff. Is that more valuable than the coinage though? I already have 500 gold per turn. I think I'm in monumentality one last time, right? Because I have wonders that I want to get, and just being able to like buy them, move them onto tiles, and chop in the same turn is such a big deal. I need to move Magnus too if we're gonna try for potato. I think it's one more turn of monumentality. Reform the coinage is very, very tempting, but we still have a little bit to go before I actually have my harbors and lighthouses. So this is good and gets better as the era goes on. This probably starts off pretty good and gets worse as the era goes on. I think I'll take monumentality for now. And then I want to move you. For potential potato. I think I'm happy with Pingala here, weirdly enough. Okay. All right, and then I do want to get one last St. Basil City. I want my Jong too, but first and foremost, I want this engineer. I kind of want the next one as well. No, all your questions are very, very welcome here, Steve. I love to teach the game. I'm happy to do so. Please ask questions. More than happy. So part of why we're getting 20% of our faith as gold, science, and culture is that we have Void Singers. This is a secret society. It's part of the New Frontier Pass, the most recent expansion of Civ. But so 20% of my faith output comes in as gold, science, and culture, which is really solid. Obviously, that's like 50 of each of these is coming from my faith alone. So it's pretty solid. I'm probably never actually flipping that. Yeah, it's very strong. All of the various abilities for that are very, very strong and good. I do have Gothic architecture in, so I want to go ahead and use this now as well as the chop. Let's make sure. Yeah, it's obviously goes here. And then I'm probably going to chop out the rest of this because eventually this is Seaside Resorts. And I think we finish off Chichen with just with that. I do need more districts here. This is a spot where monumentality pays off a little bit. Because we can chop out their shipyard and then go towards the rest of the things. And then where was my you? Find that. Take that era score. I don't even really care that my war cart died. Because this city should be well protected now. I can almost buy the settler. Suppose I should just buy the traders. All right. Policy-wise, I do want Diplo League in. Let's go ahead and take our big culture boost from allying Vilnius. Should give us a pretty significant... Although I don't have that many theater squares. Did that go up or no? It must have. I'm not going to pay you. Not going to pay you for a military alliance, that's for sure. It went up 3? That was it? Really? Should go up more. Although I guess my alliances aren't particularly high. Yeah, we can talk about Vilnius. Well, Statue of Zeus goes, and we just lost our suzerain, so that was short-lived. So Vilnius, the way it works is for the highest active alliance level, your theater square districts have 50% adjacency bonus. So I was thinking we were going to get a little bit more out of that, but I don't have theater squares at the moment. So what it means is if you have like a level 2 alliance, for the highest active alliance level, you receive a 50%. That is a weird wording, isn't it, Zark? The way that I interpret it is that you get 50% per alliance level, but that could be wrong. Does it feel weird if I ever play Civ off stream? I very rarely play Civ off stream. Although I do sometimes, especially if there's like new content or whatever. Then I get really excited and like to play again. But yeah, I don't often play off stream. Take that. It is super weirdly worded. I am with you on that for sure. All right. I kind of want the population to go here, just to make this city absolutely massive. So do I use... I don't think I actually use this. Because one more chop and we're done. So then I think this comes over here. For potato, and then we've got Magnus here in a few turns. I do need to buy a oops. So this was a, yeah, that was only a 3-charge builder. I didn't have the policy card in. Oh well. Oh well. I guess I want another settler here. Why do I get so many cities? Kumasi's in the game. Where's my Nan? Where's my Nan Madal? I wants it. I mean, I'm not gonna not get a +7 campus, even though the theater square is arguably more useful. Yeah, you got to build a lot of wonders if you want really good. And district plan well around them, right? Nothing closer to chop, so we chop next turn. I have not done a city-state tier list. Those types of tier lists and stuff I really do need to do. I think it'd be good content. Why is serfdom so good? Yeah, I don't have enough time to get all that done before I go Soccer Man, for sure. That'll be like a later this summer kind of activity. It'd be super fun to get you, PB, and Bose to debate tier list stuff. That does sound fun. We could probably have a heated discussion or two. And get your popcorn ready. Absolutely. Yeah, it's very true.
Three great elements.
Secret societies do make tier lists a lot kind of harder to have as a consistency thing. But honestly, they're worth debating. Like the value's in the discussion, right? Not necessarily being right.
The great ball court is also very impressive. I would like to have seen them play.
At least
a
in my
game,
opinion.
although it sounds like the end was pretty violent. I think it was safer to be a spectator.
Find theater squares to be least valuable the core districts. There are a ton of other ways to get culture. Like what? Great work tourism is worse than tile improvement tourism. Yeah, but not everybody gets tile improvement tourism. That's such a subjective opinion, right? Like, because the value of theater squares is going to change greatly depending on what you're doing in the game. And if you are going for tourism stuff, then I think it's still a high priority. If you're talking about in a space race game or whatever, then yeah, certainly it's a little less valuable to be getting those things because it's working an engine towards an entire victory condition that you're ignoring essentially. So I don't know. Debating if campuses are better than commercial hubs or better than theater squares is so it changes game to game. So I don't think it matters. I think they're good. And I like to build them. Two turns on Magoo here. Almost ready to buy this settler. This is still coming along. Industrial zone being the exception, for sure. For sure. Yeah, for sure. It is subjective, and that's fine. You can still think that they're worse than other things or prioritize them differently, right? There's, as I say often, there's no wrong way to play Civ as long as you're having fun. And I stand by that. All right. And again, I think there is value in the discussion there. So I need a Jong, and I need this settler. The Jong can escort the settler. Obviously improved our tiles here a good bit. Don't want to buy that. Let's buy... the settler. We've got quite a few tile improvements down, but not as many as I'd like. Okay, so what's the best way to save for this after we get our Jong for Faith next turn? I guess just gold? You can if there's a sea resource next to it, Folky. I don't mind like perpetually tanking this. I don't feel the need to shoot this crossbow or really engage it at all. So grab our Jong there. That's factually correct, Andy. Building industrial zones does get you engineers faster. It's frankly indisputable. Almost a pop 20 city. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot.
In a market economy,
That settler had a family. No. The ravages of Mother Nature. Oh. What a... God damn it. Man. That's the worst. Come on now. Come on now. Not cool. Not cool. All right, Magoo is here. All right, what do we want now? Still don't really think I'm into this industrial zone, especially so late into the game. Let's do that. Ooh, these trade routes are feeling nice. Uh-oh. Those turtles got confused. All right, I should maybe buy a builder or two and then switch out policies here. So here seems like a fine spot. One more. All right, now we'll save for the next engineer. I can't. It's so bad. Like, really?
I think the human race may...
All right, flight is a big deal for Kampong tourism, so we'll work our way there now. And then I need a lot more, frankly. Our economy is looking decent, but I guess it's only turned 134. It's a lot of science that I just don't need. I do want a theater square here, so maybe I just chop this. Could eventually put something there, I guess. I guess the shrine. I should maybe be buying some shipyards. But we have a lot of money we want to spend our resources on here, so. We're getting close to being able to plant woods, right? Because I want seaside resorts. I don't know what to do with those tiles. Probably chop them is correct. The extra Diplo slot will be quite nice. We're happy to help, DRG. Happy to help. I'm missing some of the discussion. I'm trying to explain my gameplay, and I've got we've got an amazing community of Civ folks in both the audience and just around in general. White and Nerdy and among others are just amazing resources. So if they're answering your questions, I feel good that your questions are getting answered properly. So they give me the ability to ignore chat a little bit. I've got 3 more woods chops here. It's worth 142. This basically gets us there.
The first time I stepped onto the rooftop of the Potala Palace, I felt as never before or since, as if I was.
All right, wonder spam continues to be a thing. We pick up a Diplo policy slot, which I like a lot. Pretty into that. I might even take influence back now, and I could sub this out. We don't need this currently, so we can bring in some econ policies. I still think I like Republican Legacy a lot. And then maybe the faith/gold is slightly better than the science and culture. Our science and culture are pretty good. Again, only turn 135. I think I like this. What's up, BFD? So then I can use this on other wonders. So in terms of other wonders being available, Taj is an interesting option. There's a lot. Yeah, that was a pretty quick Patala. I don't have a ton else to do with it, and I still have 2 more wonder charges here, plus the next one to bank. Planning for Christo, planning for this Broadway. Might be next, the Christo. We're getting there pretty quickly. I don't think I want the Casa. I guess we could. We could build it in the cap. The cap's running out of stuff to do and has a spot for it. So 8 turns and I can get their theater square here. It's quite good. I also want to turn this into a farm so it stays as a farm triangle, although it might eventually be woods for seaside resorts, and I might need to chop that eventually, sadly. This is going to be a seaside resort as well. And we're getting pretty close to seaside resorts, so. Make way for Mahjongs. It's all right, Simcows. We're having a pretty nice game in terms of just being able to sim and get lots of cities and stuff. Look at this. Exactly, care. All right. What else are we prioritizing here? What do we want? I frankly want amenities. Probably not worth it. Yeah, it's too expensive. It is tourism. And if candy were still in the game, I'd think about it a little harder. This should be a theater square. I don't need the science anymore. It's such a better campus than it is theater square, but why do I need more science? Like, we're almost to flight. We'll get to radio and computers probably before turn 150-ish. And I worry that they're not going to get to pop 10 and get a theater square down in time for it to matter. So, weirdly enough, I'm just going to build this. That's really weird. I don't love that. Same thing here. Like, some of these campuses just may not happen, even though we've got a good amount of them. All right, we've got a ways to go on this engineer. I do want to prioritize it. So as much as I want to get this city, it's not that high of a priority. The St. Basil's can be, and that can be a thing that we use our engineer on as well. Just accelerate that city a whole lot.
Remember that politics.
It's weird that we're not working that. Yeah, this is the last campus that we're ever going to need, right? So many turtles. Do I need to spend some money on an archaeological museum? I can build it in 4 turns. So probably not. No, this isn't online. I run Deity. I've been streaming Deity pretty much since I started streaming. I'd love to be buying these shipyards. I still want this holy site. I'm too greedy for it because I should be getting the theater squares, but oh well. 2 envoys available. Kumasi up to 3 makes sense. So let's drop Charismatic Leader for a turn, put in Diplo League. Some of these are looking pretty nice. And I think I will go Casa in a second in the cap once the cap is caught up on stuff that they actually want. I could also wait for containment at this point, but this is a seaside resort. That's going to be a nice seaside resort. Always got to pet the dog before you send it off. Kind of just want to see what's going on here in terms of barbs. Does Magnus move now? Magnus could move here. Because we could chop out all of this stuff for Christo. And I don't necessarily need anything else. Gets the city pretty big too with the jungle chops. Pet the dog but underwater. Yeah, the St. Basil's could chop it out too. They're pretty far, so it's a lot of money to invest in buying all these. I think I'd rather just move the engineer there and then use my money on this. It's fine. I'm too much of a sucker for these holy sites. I genuinely should just be building theater squares. Could actually eventually be a national park. I'm excited. Excited for all the tourism we're going to get at Flight. And in the meantime, we do need to put a cut in the video here. Thank you so much for watching, YouTubers. Oh, we've got that Chichen Itza is on fire. Holy cow. Thank you so much for watching, friends. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to stop by twitch.tv/thegamemechanic and come join us live in person on the internet. See you then.